round 13, and it's back to Brands for the final showdown. And with double points at stake, courtesy of the cancelled Mondello round, any one of the top three, Keogh, Leon or Greg, can still win the championship. Never has BSB been so close or so exciting.
Lavia, 377, a point in front of Ryoichi Kiyanari. And look at that, just another 6 points further back, 7 points further back, even 8 points further back is Leon Haslam. Shane Byrne in 4th place. Carl Harris, Johnny Ray, Tommy Hill, Michael Rutter. For the penultimate time then, as far as the Bennett's British Superbikes are concerned in 2006. That's your front row. We're looking at Johnny Ray in the foreground. Wouldn't he like to go out with his first British Superbike win of the year if he can? Leon Haslam, though, is in pole position on the Airwave Ducati. It's going to be about, oh, that's a quick start from the Rizzler Suzuki boys. Bit of a mess there from the Stobart bike, of course, of Michael Rutter. He's gone back, been mired back in the pack. Haslam has gone back into 3rd place. Behind him is Ryoichi Kiyanari. Wow, Shane Byrne, perfect start on the Rizzler bike. Perfectly judged indeed, and it was not a jump start. Johnny Ray in 2nd place on the Red Bull 65 bike. Then it is 91 Haslam being pushed out almost by Ryoichi Kiyanari, the 2 bike, trying to sneak up the inside
Haslam
if he can.
goes to 2nd.
Haslam did go to 2nd, right underneath Johnny Ray. He needs to do that as well as we come down Graham Hill. We're along the Cooper Straight now. Surtees, and that looks like, is that Hickey that's gone down now? Can't we recognise it's one of the Kawasaki's? Well, right in the middle, oh, high side in the middle of the pack. That's a great shame there. A little bit of a cool tyre perhaps, and taking the Kawasaki man down and out. And that is one of the Hawk boys that have gone down there. Whether it was Hickman or not, I don't know. But what we've got is all eyes focused on Shane Byrne, the 67. Rizzler Suzuki out front at the moment. Well, you've got John Hopkins on the Grand Prix bike, giving us a bit of a demo later on in the day. Right now, though, it's all about this man. As we open our day's racing, alongside me, if you didn't guess already, is Steve Parrish. And, well, you've got to say that this young man, Shane Shaky Byrne, wouldn't he just like to go out with a win? But look how comfortable Haslam looks to his shoulder. Looks to me like Shane's having to try pretty hard to be where he is. Looks pretty easy as far as Haslam's concerned in 2nd place.
Well, Keith, if Haslam could just get past Shane Byrne and let him be the blocker out there, this would be perfect for him. He's 9 points behind, but there's a 10 points difference between 1st and 2nd. He goes down the inside to take the lead.
And that was Craig Coxell, I have to say, that fell down earlier. Very hot indeed, out to the curb, but he's managed to pull it back down again. I'll tell you what, if that curb had been damp from rain, Haslam may well have been finding himself picking the bike up. So a little mistake from Haslam. Well, let's hope that's the last one he makes. Kiyanari closes right in 3rd place at the moment. It is Rizzler Suzuki versus Airwave Ducati, HM Plant Honda.
Shaky was out of the seat there, but that's the run out. But in a minute, you'll get another shot. Shaky was right out the seat of the Rizzler Suzuki, but that was a big mistake there from Leon Haslam, bike number 91. Maybe a bit of nerves, early start of the race.
Shane Byrne leads. Then it's Haslam. Then it is Kiyanari as they come up to Surtees now onto the fastest part of the course.
Yeah, Byrne is burning, and he's got his head down on the fastest part, up to about 185 miles an hour through the dip here. No way. I think that number 91 there, Haslam, can pass on this part of the circuit. Looks to me again it's going to be all about getting the drive out of clearways. That's where he's fast.
You heard then the Ducati just thundering as it hit the traction control. Of course, traction control works superbly well on the Ducatis. Rizzler Suzuki also with a similar system, but nothing as far as the HM Plant Honda's concerned. They've got no traction control on there. It's all about throttle control for Ryoichi Kiyanari.
He's through.
He has gone through. Haslam hits the front. Now then, it's all about whether he can make that work for him now. He's got to put nice, quick, smooth lap on top of nice, quick, smooth lap to make it work for him. Haslam leads, runs it out wide at clearways, gets it cut across to the apex of the corner. Full power from the Ducatis. It goes under our box, up towards paddock.
You saw Shaky there, number 67's trying to turn the gas on. He watched Haslam get on the power. He got on it himself, and that Suzuki just let go. The rear end lost grip. He hasn't got the traction that the Ducati's got. They've got similar tyres, of course, both on Dunlops, but there's no way he could drive out of clearways as quick as the Ducati. Now, this is perfect for Haslam, isn't it?
Absolutely perfect. And almost unknown is a charging Carl Harris, but it's a charging Kiyanari, his teammate, that goes through in a 2nd place now. And he really, really, really needed to do that as early as he can. He cannot afford to let Haslam get away here. But watch Carl Harris in 4th place, already dispensed with Johnny Ray. Tommy Hill is back in 6th place. 7th now is Lavia. He's moved up 1 place. Haslam leads. Oh, Hayden's in. Hayden is out of the race. So number 11, James Hayden, has come out, and that just about caps an awful year as far as James Hayden is concerned.
Well, look at this. Gregorio Lavia still down in 7th place, lapping at similar times, but he's got a long, long way down. Rain falling.
Now then, if they've got their hands in the air, race director Stuart Higgs will actually stop the race. Red flag, we've got it. If the majority, I can't remember how many it is now, but certainly if there are enough people with their hands in the air, then Stuart Higgs, the race director, takes that indication from a rider's point of view. So we've got a red flag. It was a designated dry start.
How disappointed is Leon Haslam? You can see him shaking his head. He just can't believe it. He had that lead.
Problem as well, it's really, really raining here as well in our commentary position. It's absolutely chucking it down at the moment. I can looking across, it's even coming in the window just here. Well, the fact of the matter is that will be a restarted race. It will be a completely new race, but over a shortened distance. So, as we look across the grid, everybody looking at everybody's tyre choices. This is a nerve-wracking moment here. We've had one start already for the Bennett's British Superbike penultimate race of the year. This will be the second start over 17 laps. And it's a straight race to the flag. There is no aggregate anymore. The MCRCB have designated no aggregate races. It's a straight sprint to the end, 17 laps. Byrne in pole, gets a good start again. Shane Byrne did, so did Leon Haslam on the 91 bike. Cuts across to the inside, and I'll tell you what, it's a better start from Lavia as well in 4th place. But coming across the outside, I think was Harris. No, it wasn't. It was Chianari. Chianari in 4th place. You go up to Druids. It's Byrne that leads. Haslam in 2nd place. 3rd is under dispute all the way up there. And Lavia getting his nose cut off, I think, by Chianari. Yes, it was. Chianari still 3rd on the number 2 bike. Then it's the number 1 bike in 4th place. That's Gregorio Lavia. Tentative times as they come down. This is a treacherous part of the track. If they touch that white line,
Leon's got the drive, Keith. Leon's got the drive on the inside up towards Sterling's corner.
Traction control. Leon Haslam and the Ducati traction control drifting out wide. It's Shane Byrne. Through has gone Keogh, and Lavia almost got his nose cut off, and out round the outside has gone just what he wanted. Carl Harris has thwarted the drive of the number 1 bike, Lavia, and that is what Harris is here for, to protect that man, number 2, the HM Plant number 1 bike. Lavia's gone. Lavia has gone out, defending champion. Lavia has gone down. He was 1 point in the lead going into this. Lavia has gone down. He will score no points. 50 points for a win, 40 pence for 2nd place, 34 points for 3rd place.
Do you know what I think happened? I've got a suspicious feeling his front brake lever was taken off. They were so close, Harris and him coming out of that corner. I just tend to think they collided at that point.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's going to be interesting. I don't know whether it was quite that dramatic. Looked to me like he just lost the front end. We'll have another look at it here. He'd have been come ploughing in here. No, I think he lost it on the way in.
Maybe he did, but maybe it's something was twisted on that bike. I think Harris and him collided coming out of Sterling's corner.
Well, that's a disaster for Gregorio Lavia. Haslam then out front on the 91 bike. Now, all that Leon has to do is try and keep it calm. I'll tell you what, this is tricky down here. Down has gone, that's Laverty, I think. Looks like Michael Laverty. It is Michael Laverty on the Stobart bike. So, Michael Laverty also falling down very, very difficult conditions. I'll tell you, Steve, these are the ones that are just a nightmare, especially at this time of the year when everything counts. Over the line, Haslam had the fastest lap last time round. This time round, it's Chianari who's got the fastest lap. So, Chianari 132.2. And Haslam and Chianari, still a bit about conservation, because we know these boys have got, well, certainly we know the Airwaves Ducati has got cut tyres front and rear. We saw that just before he went out there. And that is going to be an interesting scenario. Just there is Lavia. Wow, that face says it all, doesn't it? Really, it looks like a bulldog chewing on a wasp. Not happy at all there. So, as Haslam comes under pressure from Chianari, what tyres has Chianari got on, I wonder? We never got a chance to see if it was intermediates or whether it was full slicks.
Well, you've got to say, if he is on full slicks, then he's got the right choice, because at the moment this track is doing nothing but drying out. He's on the inside line.
I'll tell you what, though, Haslam confident on the front end of that Ducati. I'll tell you what, the Ducati is a motorcycle very, very, very confident at the front. Really, Haslam is prepared to run it in so hot, so often. There are the points predictions, 4:18, 4:16, if it finishes right now. But, of course, we've got another race coming up very, very soon. Oh, Harris is down. That's Carl Harris. Carl Harris is down as well. He's got cut tyres in the back of that. So intermediates on that Michelin shod HM Plant. So we've got to guess if that's what Chianari's got on.
Absolutely, I'd agree with that. Almost certainly they'd have had the same tyres on.
Oh, it's a shaky Byrne and Chianari. Well, that is Harris running on a bit. I'll tell you what, Shane Byrne underneath him. And, well, that's not a very nice way to be dumped in the sand. So Harris really embarrassed with that one. Well, that is going to affect the stand-ins big time as far as this championship is concerned as well. So, no help is going to come Chianari's way from Carl Harris. No help. Well, he wasn't going to get any anyway off of Lavia. He's going to go Haslam's way. It's a straight shootout between these two. What a way for this race to go. Really, if Chianari finishes in front of Haslam, that is stamping authority over this championship. If Chianari beats Haslam in this first race, then Chianari has got one hand on the championship trophy by the time we go to race 2 this afternoon.
Yeah.
We are on lap 8 at the moment, and again, Chianari has gone past us with the fastest lap of the race. Byrne still in 3rd place. Michael Rutter having one of his best rides of the year so far in 4th place on bike number 3. There's Shane Shaky Byrne on the Rizza Suzuki. There's the Eddie Stobart Honda. Whoa, he's gone through right where he's been trying it.
Yeah.
Indeed, through has gone Chianari. Well, that has thrown, in fact, it's earlier. He's gone round, he's gone down into Graham Hill.
Yeah, it was.
We're on Cooper. This is Surtees now. So, Chianari, well, he outfoxed a lot of us there. He went down at Graham Hill. He went under him at Graham Hill, giving him the opportunity to get the momentum onto this straight. So there was no possibility the Ducati to come back at him. Chianari's actually thinking like a machine.
Well, now's his chance. Let's just see what Chianari has up his sleeve. He's got a clear track in front of him. He's been the fastest guy on the circuit all the way through. 1:28.532 is the fastest time that's been set so far in this. Can Leon Haslam, bike number 91 there, can he keep up this pace? Is he just playing with him? We'll wait and see. But a further 6-7 seconds back now is Shane Byrne in 3rd.
Raining here.
Yeah,
it's raining right on our box now. It's chucking it down right in front of us, and they have got lightly cut tyres on. It will have been designated a wet race, the start of this, so the race director will not stop this race unless it becomes dangerous to race. It's his prerogative, if you like.
I'd have said it was dangerous before it starts raining, as far as I'm concerned.
Only had to look on their faces to know that it was dangerous out there. So, Haslam then, you can see there the oil flag being waved. That is a diminished adhesion flag to give it its full designation. Of course, it's raining out on the track now. Now, this could be a disaster.
If it is round the back. Look, the sun is shining. You can see the shadows there. The sun is shining out the back there.
Well, they'll know better than us, and Haslam comes back through. Haslam comes back through, so Haslam then, he knows that if this race gets stopped, they will go back a lap. He needs to lead this race at least a lap if it gets stopped again. It was a wet race designation-wise. They won't stop it unless it becomes dangerous or there's an accident out there that race director Stuart Hicks needs to take an intervening hand. So, Haslam knows if a red flag comes out and he was in 2nd place and it goes count back, so he will lose this.
Well, I just hope he knows how much it's raining around here, because it's raining quite heavily here on the start and finish straight. That's the move through. He got the inside drive there. You saw Chianari have a little bit of a slide there. Haslam took that opportunity. Didn't need a second invitation, but he's now coming round to this part of the circuit where it is quite damp.
He's gone by us. He's going up towards Druids now as they drop down the hill. Look at the lead that Haslam has got at this particular point. Came across the line. Haslam, Chianari, this is 1st and 2nd. Byrne still 3rd, Rutter still 4th. Tommy Hill up into 5th place, and Tommy Hill will relish that particular situation on the Pirellis. They work good in these half and half conditions. And Glenn Richards is in 6th place. Scott Smart is in 7th place, the only other winner of a race this year.
Stop rubbing it in.
Sorry. Yeah, Steve overlooked that a little earlier on. Maggie, if you're watching, you must remember to have a little word with him there. Maggie Smart, of course, Scott Smart's mother, yes, and sister of the ex-Barry Sheen. And back comes Chianari. Good drive again out of Surtees and up onto Pilgrims, and then Hawthorne we are at now, and has gone back by Haslam. So what a battle royal with atrociously difficult conditions. If you've never been a motorcycle racer, if you've never been on a track day where it's half and half out there, you just really don't know how hard to go. It's bad enough when it's drying slowly, let alone when it's raining occasionally on each lap in different places. It could never be worse from a rider's point of view. They daren't touch white lines. They can't run out to the outside because any of that rain on the white line, it stays on the paint. It takes a little longer to dry off and spits people over. Just remember Mick Doohan ruined his career in Spain when he touched a white line. It's been drying for half a week before he got to it.
Yeah, and these conditions, as you rightly say, so tricky because it's raining in some parts of the circuit, dry in other parts of the circuit. You can't stop and have a look at that track. You've just got to ride it. You've got to get the feel of that bike. Now, for Leon Haslam, he's now got the chance of watching Chianari, see what's doing. Look, the sun is out, the shadows are there. I would imagine that Druids is completely dry. Then we come out of here, we go down the hill, out of Druids, down towards Graham Hill Bend, taken in 3rd gear generally. This was a few spots of rain here earlier on, but it dries lap by lap.
How quick has that dried? He even ran it out onto the white line. Do you know what? Chianari, for me, in this race so far, is the man who is not just adapting to the conditions the quickest, but he's reading them so very fast, because he took a lap behind Haslam and seemed to be quite happy to sit behind there. Take a look at the track as it was developing. Now that it's changed, he's back
Keith
at
is throwing it down here now. It's absolutely chucking it down on our window here, so they've got to be so careful when they come round.
Hang on a minute, I'm fooled, because not only is it throwing it down on our commentary position, it's also bright sunshine. Can't make its mind up, so it's bright rain here at the moment. Chianari leads, and that will be great for his championship if he goes into race 2 with the extra points that this will give him. Remember, it's 50 points for a win, 40 for second. It's double points here at the moment, 34 for third. That's as far as my doubling up will go. Rutter is still in 4th place behind Shane Byrne in 3rd place. So a podium for Shane Byrne at this moment. Hill still 5th. Now then, it's all going to be about Leon Haslam. Can he close in? We're on lap 11, coming to the end of it at the moment. This is a 17-lap restart. Johnny Ray is about to be lapped by these two. Now then, this will be interesting. Maybe he'll move over for Keogh, but not for Haslam.
Well, you've got to remember, Jonathan Ray is just 2 points behind Carl Harris, who we know Carl Harris is out of the race. If he can grab a couple of points, this could help him.
Yeah, more to the point, though. Of course, Keogh and Ray are teammates. Ray's coming in, I think. He looks over his shoulder, so he's on the entrance to pit lane kind of line at the moment. Whether he comes in or whether he rides around for a few points, Steve, you might well have picked that up perfectly. He does, he rides round. He's riding around trying to get some points, but at the moment he's down in 20th place, and there's no points till you get to 15, and there's only one then. Keogh, Haslam, they've gone through. We still wait for Shane Byrne to come under our window. Shane Byrne on the Rizza Suzuki comes through clearways. Here he comes now. Behind him is Michael Rutter. Good ride from Rutter. Then it's Tommy Hill a long way further back from Glenn Richards on the Hydrex bike. There is Rutter, the number 3 bike, as they drop down. Oh, big high side from Byrne. Byrne gets it sideways when he touched the white line, and that is a massive 130-mile-an-hour crash. We have got a red flag, so a red flag goes out, and that, I think, is race distance.
Yeah,
that's a race result. We'll check for that, but red flag, Shane Byrne had a hand in this.
Leon cannot believe it. He's shaking his head.
It's just terrible. Did he get to the line?
Yeah, he did. He touched the white line.
Touched the white line, sideways on, over the top, bashed himself straight on his back. That will have knocked him out, I feel.
I'll tell you, I actually was with Shaky Byrne on Friday night at a dinner, and he was just saying if ever he's about to have a big accident, he just blacks out and reckons he shuts down. I'm pretty certain he'll be fine. He's just banged his head a little bit there.
There is the man who has called the halt to this race, Shane Byrne. He is on his feet, as predicted by Steve Parrish. Confirmation then that Ryoichi takes the 50 points for the race win. Leon Haslam gets just 40. 34 go to Michael Rutter. Tommy Hill, Glenn Richards, Scott Smart, Ben Wilson and Simon Andrews round out our top 8. And the new point standings. Ryoichi Chianari, at a critical part of the Bennett's Superbike Championship, moves ahead of both of the Black Mint Airwaves Ducatis. Chianari on 426. Leon Haslam on 408. Gregorio Lavia scoring no points after that crash, 377. So they are your top 3. Chianari, though, one hand on the trophy, one race less to go in 2006. In gear now, then, the last race of 2006 is underway, and a great start from Haslam. He's gone off the line, and it looks to me like that's a great start for Keogh as well. Keogh's there, but barging his way through. Jonathan Ray still looking for his first ever British Superbike Championship race win of this year, of ever, in fact. The 19-year-old Ulsterman flying into the lead, but up the inside comes Chianari at Druids, with Haslam on the outside. And I'll tell you what, Steve, I'm gripping hard on this desk, because one mistake from any of these guys is going to decide this championship instantly. Haslam barging and pushing and trying to get his way past Jonathan Ray, because Jonathan Ray will be Ryoichi Chianari's teammate next year, so therefore he's bound to be trying to help and hold back 91 Haslam. But in the lead, Chianari. Harris is there as well, looking at the inside of the Red Bull bike of Jonathan Ray as they go through Surtees. We've had more action in 4 corners than we've had in some races this year. Chianari leads on 2, 91 is Haslam, 65 is Johnny Ray, then it's number 9, of course, Carl Harris, also trying to fight and really mire Haslam if he can, as far as this championship is concerned, Steve.
Absolutely, 91 there, Haslam. All he can do now is just hassle Chianari, really push him, try and shove him into a mistake, something like that. You're absolutely right about Jonathan Ray. He was out there obviously trying to do his best to keep Leon back, but it hasn't worked because Leon is right in the slip slipstream in the spray of that Honda now, and this is for the championship. I'm looking down, Lavia's down in 7th place, his championship pretty much gone, unless of course these two fall off.
Well, indeed, that is the situation, because with double points it's all 50 for a win, and 40 for second place and 32, forgive me for saying 34 throughout the entire first race. I've never been a mathematician and hadn't quite worked out double points too well, but these guys will have had it worked out absolutely perfectly. Look at the rain coming down as they come through clearways. There's sunshine and rain. We've had hail the size of golf balls earlier on today into paddock for the second time. Then we are on lap 2. What drama we've had here all the way through. Chianari goes through in the lead. Haslam, though, has gained his composure, but look at Jonathan Ray, the Ulsterman, looking so good there in 3rd place, and he really will be looking to try and sort out Haslam if he can and help next year's teammate with the win in this championship.
Well, yeah, poor old Leon Haslam there in 2nd place on the Ducati, surrounded by Hondas. There's one right in front of him. Of course, don't forget Carl Harris there, number 9 in 4th place. He's also trying to help Chianari out. They'll be, if they can catch Haslam, they'll be giving him hassle.
Big news, number 1 has stopped at the technical problem at Stirling's. It is Gregorio Lavia, the luckless Spaniard, has gone out again, this time with a technical problem. He crashed in race 1, and now Lavia, his championship is shot, and Honda have surrounded the last remaining Airwave Ducati. Wow, dear me. Leon Haslam is under so much pressure and he doesn't even know it. His teammate's not going to help him.
No, but he's fast. Look at him. He's pulled up a lot of ground there. Leon Haslam on the Dunlop shod machine. And I reckon the Dunlops will be as good as anything in these conditions. But for sure, I still believe it's going to dry out. As this race goes on, the sun is out here now. The rain has stopped right here where we are. But it's going to dry a fair bit, and there'll be a dryish line by the end of this race.
Yeah, but Haslam doesn't stand a chance, because he's got to make Keogh finish 4th or lower. And there's no way that the two men behind them at the moment, in Ray and Harris, that's going to help that situation. They are there riding shotgun for Chianari, of course. So Chianari is in the absolute best place at the moment. He'll be getting boards about who's where on the racetrack. And we saw how Chianari was so brilliantly at reading a race in race 1 today. So this could be absolute perfect situation for him, as Haslam took a look then down towards paddock up the inside of Chianari. I think it's going to be for pride, this race today. It's going to be Haslam trying to win the race. But all these Hondas all over him. It's sheer weight of numbers that are completely conspiring to mess Haslam up and this championship for him.
Quite frankly, the best thing that Chianari can do is let Haslam go past. You're absolutely right. Let him go past and follow him around, because the last thing he needs to do, the number 2 bike I'm talking about is leading this race, is fall down, and he could do that. He's setting the pace at the moment, and it's quite high pace at the moment, and if he just goes and falls down, then that's all over. So at the moment, it is Chianari, the man that's setting the pace. And why doesn't he let Haslam pass? That would be what I'd do.
Well, you've got to say, Chianari, if he went back a place, he'd be in the comfort zone of all his mates around him. He'd have Harris, he'd have, who's now past Jonathan Ray, by the way. Harris is setting off after Haslam as well. And I'll tell you what, we've seen a few battles between Harris and Haslam over the last few years in these kind of conditions. Alton Park comes to mind, I seem to remember, when those two had a bit of a coming together at the Hizzy chicane.
Yeah, very much so. And of course, for the championship point of view, Harris and Ray, though, are still battling it out, just 2 points in it between these two, so that is for the position in the championship, and I'm talking about the position of 4th and 5th there, 5th and 6th there.
Well, we know that Jonathan Ray has already got a job alongside Chianari next year. We don't know what's happening to Carl Harris, so a good ride helping. Chianari sits up then, gets a little bit lit up there, so Chianari, you've got to ask him, what is he playing at? Just let Haslam go by and let him be done with it. It doesn't matter, does it?
No, absolutely not. Unless Haslam is being canny here and just trying to hassle him a little bit, who knows? But if he starts hassling him too much, then he's going to get passed by Harris and Ray there.
Well, the only way that Haslam can win this championship at the moment, with the things stacking up the way they are, is for Chianari to fall down, and Chianari's doing that all on his own at the minute. If Chianari makes a mistake, and in these conditions, so easy to touch a white line and do it, he is going to help Haslam win this championship.
He's going to hand it to him on a plate, actually.
If it was like it is now, 476, 448, Ryuichi Chianari would absolutely blitz Haslam and Lavia. So Haslam would have to finish 2nd behind Lavia. Carl Harris would be 4th. Johnny Ray would be 5th in the championship. Shane Byrne will slip to 6th place. He had a bit of a bang on the head in that accident earlier on in race 1. And he's not in race 2, which gave Chianari a front row start. Didn't he maximise from that?
Yeah, terrific start from him and doing everything perfect at the moment. He hasn't even looked over his shoulder yet, so he'll be getting pit boards when you come through. But we've spoken about this before at Brands Hatch, especially in these conditions. You are pretty focused on that track, concentrating. As they come around here, the pit boards will be out on the right-hand side. See if he has a glance across what's going on. But most of the time, and look at this, Leon Haslam on the outside. Is he going to switch to the inside and try and pass him into paddock? No.
Looked to me like the old traction control was thumping his head off in that Ducati, and of course there's none on the HM plant on that that just keeps spinning and driving
keep
forward.
Off that line.
Yeah, well, he does. He manages to pull it back down again, but I just wonder whether traction control is finding that rear end spinning a little bit, Stephen, just holding him back rather than firing him forward at this point.
Yeah, but I don't think it'd make a lot of difference, because if it's already spinning, or if it's working, if it's kicking in, it'd only be spinning up anyway. It's saving his tyre a little bit.
Oh,
big
Keogh makes a mistake. Out to the white line. Haslam goes through, but that is a safety zone. In fact, that may have been a mistake Keogh made, but he might be quite happy there. Yeah, I would say that second place, I would be letting Haslam go and having the slowest last few laps of the race that I'd ever done at Brands Hatch if I was Ryoichi Kianari. So Haslam leads. Number 2 on the HM Plant Honda is Ryoichi Kianari. That's Colin Wright. Keogh then well out. 466, 458. That would be how it is. Kianari still in front in the championship, even if Leon Haslam wins this race, and you don't get points for winning it by yardage, so it doesn't matter how far out in front Haslam is. No. He's still going to only get the 50 points you get for the win. 40 points for second place and 32. That's double 16, Ewan.
Yeah, I have to say, you were thinking of Kevin Schwantz. I think you kept saying 34, but there you go. But poor Leon at this point, he'll be thinking, why did they stop the first race when I had a chance to win it? Or more importantly, about that mistake that he obviously made just at Silverstone, just going down there.
I'm not 100% convinced that that was the right way of thinking anyway in the first race. If Haslam was waiting to pounce on Kianari, the chances of that race being stopped in those conditions was always a possibility. You needed to be in front of all the other riders just in case it was stopped, and you got done on red by a red flag countback. Still Tommy Hill in 5th place at the moment, dropping even further behind Ray, who's in 4th place. We're looking at 65, Jonathan Ray now. He moves up to HM Plant Honda next year. Michael Laverty having a good ride on the Eddie Stobart bike on bike 33 in 6th place. So Tommy Hill on bike number 8 in front of James Hayden. James Hayden, oh, that's a James Hayden pose, isn't it? Everything hanging off the bike as far as you can. Determination personified is James Hayden. A man without a job for next year, and difficult to see where he's going next year. And really another disastrous year for Hayden that he will want to get over.
So there we go, a big battle going on, and of course this is for the championship. This is for 5th place in the championship, just 2 points in it between Harris and Ray. Whoever gets in front will end up 5th place in the championship.
Kianari goes through already. Haslam, who is now 8.1 seconds in front of Kianari. They've gone through. Ray back in front of Harris now, so